Embracing chaos with Jen. Hey guys, my name is Jen and this is my channel Embracing Chaos. Today is a what does Jen think she needs to eat this week video. Just kidding, it's my meal prep. Surprise! So, this is a week for pound dropper recipes. I'm telling you what, I'm doing 3 pound dropper recipes this week. The one that I'm doing for breakfast today is called Egg and Sausage Breakfast Bake Squares. They are 3 points on blue and purple, and then 5 points on green. So really excited to try this. I think I'm going to couple it with some fresh fruit that I got in my Misfits Market box, and that's going to be my breakfast. And then for lunch, I'm doing a 2-ingredient dough enchilada casserole. So both of them sound really good to me. They both actually kind of have 2-ingredient dough in them. That just kind of dawned on me. The enchilada casserole is 2 points for blue and purple and 6 points for green. I will make sure that I link both of these recipes and Pound Dropper's website down below, and she's also on Pinterest. So make sure you guys stop and check her out. She's the one who made the infamous funfetti cheesecake recipe. So that's what turned me on to her, and like I said, 3 recipes this week. So I've got my meal prep, but then if you guys keep watching on probably Wednesday, I'll have a what I eat in a day where I make the skinny crock pot lasagna. So stay tuned for more yumminess. Anyways, gonna get started on the breakfast recipe. Alright, so we will start with the crust. For the crust, we are going to do 1 egg, 1 cup of self-rising flour, and then 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. With a spatula until it forms a nice ball of dough. Alright guys, so the recipe does call for a 9 by 13 baking dish. However, I can't seem to find mine. I have 2, can't find one. And I need to use the other one for my casserole recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and use one that's just a little bit smaller and opt for some thicker breakfast sausage bakes instead of thinner. So we'll still cut them up into the same amount of servings. We're going to go ahead and push the dough into the bottom of the pan. If you guys have issues with the dough sticking to your hands, just kind of use a little bit of flour to flour them up, and that should help with that. Trying to get it as even as possible. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and get this into our oven. This is going to go into a 375-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer because we're using a different size pan. But if there is a difference in the time, I will let you guys know. While that is baking, we'll go ahead and get started on the egg mixture. We're going to start out with 6 eggs, 3/4 cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk, 1/2 tablespoon of red pepper flakes, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a half teaspoon of oregano. Here we have 1/3 cup of diced onion. And lastly, 2 cups of turkey sausage crumbles. The recipe calls for 2 cups of Jimmy Dean's breakfast sausage crumbles. I could not find that. I know it usually comes in the refrigerator or the frozen section, and I've seen it, but of course when I wanted it, it wasn't there. So, personally offended. I'm just kidding. So I bought a different brand of turkey sausage and just browned it myself. No big deal. And we'll go ahead and mix this really good. So that ended up taking about 20 minutes until it got to the point where it was golden brown. Now what we'll do is we'll take our egg and sausage mixture and pour that over the top. We'll spread it around really good. And then the recipe says to put this back in a 375-degree oven for 15 to 18 minutes. Now bear in mind our dish is smaller, so our breakfast bake will be thicker, which means it might take a little bit longer to cook. I will keep an eye on the time and let you guys know where we end up at. Here we have our finished breakfast bake. It is nice and solid. I did check it with a butter knife to make sure that it came out clean, and it does. So I'm going to go ahead and divvy this up. I meal prep for 4 days, so I will cut this into the 8-cup serving size like we talked about earlier, and then I'll put the rest in a bigger Tupperware dish for Steve to take into work. Here's what we ended up with. As you can see, we've got the nice thick crust down here, and then the egg and sausage mix up at the top. Okay, so here are the 4 dishes. We'll go ahead and get lids on these. Like I said earlier, I'm probably going to be pairing these with some of the fresh fruit that I got in my Misfits Market box. I got a bunch of nectarines and peaches. And then I'm probably also going to eat a light Greek yogurt with it as well. Probably, just to add more to the dish, I'm going to add my G. Hughes sugar-free ketchup on top of this also, guys. I love ketchup on everything, especially breakfast dishes, so it's kind of required. Anyways, let me go get these in the fridge and we'll be back with the dinner. Okay, time to get started on our 2-ingredient dough enchilada bake. I'm going to start out with the 2-ingredient dough portion. Here I have a 1/2 cup of the Fage non-fat Greek yogurt, and I'm going to be adding a 1/2 cup of my self-rising flour. We'll go ahead and stir this up with a spatula until it becomes clumpy. Okay, now we're going to add some flour to our hands. And we're going to form 14 to 16 little balls of dough. We'll go ahead and set these to the side. Next, we're going to add all of our remaining ingredients to a large bowl. We'll start with 1 cup of black beans that have been drained, and I did rinse them just a little bit. I feel like that wasn't quite a full cup. We've got 1 pound of ground turkey breast. We've got 10.5 ounces of tomato sauce. You're adding 10 ounces of the mild enchilada sauce. They do make a medium and a hot if you're feeling extra brave. Jen does not feel brave this week. We're going to be adding 1 tablespoon of taco seasoning. This is the Island Spice taco seasoning we found at Costco. It is our favorite taco seasoning. Next, we'll be adding a half a teaspoon of ground cumin.
Should you do it?
1 teaspoon of chili powder.
Hmm?
2 cups of corn. The recipe does call for frozen corn. I didn't have any, so I'm just using 2 cups of the canned corn drained. Then we're gonna stir this really good. Oh my gosh, it smells fantastic, guys. Now we're gently going to fold in these dough balls that we made earlier. I've never used 2-ingredient dough like this before, so I'm curious to see how it turns out. We'll spray our 9x13 baking dish really good. And I'm just using the Great Value extra virgin olive oil cooking spray. We'll go ahead and add our mixture to the dish. I'm going to kind of chop it up gently. I want to make sure that the dough is kind of dispersed evenly throughout the dish. Lastly, we will add 1/4 cup of Mexican Velveeta shreds to the top of our casserole mixture. Then we're going to put this in a 350-degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes or until the cheese is melted and the dough is cooked all the way through. Okay, so our enchilada bake is done. It is cool. We're gonna get ready to serve it up. Again, this makes 6 1-cup servings. All right, guys, I have got my enchilada casserole boxed up and ready to go for the week. That ends my weekly meal prep video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below at any time. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. If you haven't already, if you would consider hitting that subscribe button down in the corner, I would greatly appreciate that as well. Until next time, guys, keep smiling. Bye.